At the time that you were watching this main event episode, the main event guys have worked quite possibly our longest day yet as a crew. We're going to talk football. And what is that? What is that? Oh my God. Brandon Lyle just hit another home run.
Oh my God.
Listen, the Major League Baseball playoffs aren't set to start yet. It's Sunday. The Bucs play in an hour, so we're not live, but this is the main event. What the heck? What kind of shenanigans has this guy got?
Oh, boy, maybe.
Listen, if you couldn't tell by that intro, I haven't had a full cup of coffee yet.
Oh, man.
it is 8 a.m. at the time that we're recording this episode. And we got up early because we have a full day.
We are working hard.
I cannot wait to share with everybody why we have such a full day today.
It's my pirate hat for working today. And
probably the most epic main event short we've had yet.
Yeah. It is going to be epic, that's for sure. Legendary.
Legend. This is the one that'll start it all.
But just know that right now, by the time you're watching this, we haven't had a nap yet, which is not usual for a Sunday afternoon.
No. So here's the crazy thing. And obviously we've got some things we're working on today, which is why we're recording early. But the Bucs play tonight at 8 o'clock as well versus the New England Patriots. Tom's return home to New England. And obviously we intend to be enjoying that game. So we figured we would get the show out of the way. If you're watching, it's recorded. Go ahead and feel free to comment. We'll probably be watching the feeds.
Yeah.
And you'll get our response probably quite live. Hopefully by then we're in a taco coma.
Oh. Dude, we're gonna be in a coma of some sort. I guarantee you that. that's a guarantee.
Sunburn.
Oh man,
product smoke. Who knows?
I didn't wake up early enough. You guys are reminding me in the green room how much stuff I have to still do to prepare.
Yeah.
And
dude, I started preparing on Thursday.
Dude, I've been out of town.
Dude, I'm coming off of 48. I got home literally, what time is it now? I got home like 45 minutes ago. Here I am and ready to go.
It's going to be wild. All right, so let's get into it. So I think the big story coming into all week, like if you've been watching anything on TV or
everywhere,
talk radio, whatever, everybody is talking about Tom Brady's return to New England. You know, let's not forget, it's not just Tom's return, it's the Gronk's too, although he'll be out. It turns out,
or is he game time decision?
No, it turns out he's out. It turns out he has a couple of fractured ribs from that hit.
All right.
He took last week. He could miss a couple of weeks.
Wow. Okay.
So it's Cameron Brate's time to shine, Chief.
I just dropped him for my fantasy team. I need to
hurry up. Go pick him up.
It's too late for this week. I'll be back next week. We'll see.
But that is a position of depth for the Buccaneers. So, yes. I mean, Gronk is, potentially Hall of Fame talent that we're talking about. But I don't think we lose that much by going to Brate or hopefully O.J. Howard. He hasn't really proven himself over the past few years. A lot of drops, a lot of misrun routes, things like that. Hopefully he can get that straightened out. It's like you just said, it's one of those two time to shine.
You know what we do miss? Okay, so I'm going to say Cameron Brate's hands are as good as Gronk's, but his blocking is nowhere in this the same area. And O.J. Howard, I believe, has the ability to block as good as Gronk does. But man, his hand, and he's got potential for amazing hands. But man, he drops more passes than.
You know who he reminds me of?
I've tried to come up with something quick, missed it.
Well, you know who he reminds me of? Gosh, we're going back a long time now here as Bucs fans, but I think it was I forgot his name. Kid from Florida, Jaquez Green. he would make the most ridiculous one-handed catches on the sideline, but a short 5 route over the middle, drop.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And he played here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Jacquez Green, he was a Buccaneer. Just would make these spectacular highlight reel catches, but couldn't make the simple ones, and it was just it was baffling.
By the way, since you brought up Florida, I'm gonna take a detour.
Come on, man.
Did they lose to Kentucky last night?
They lost to Kentucky last night.
Dude, they hadn't lost to Kentucky since like 1986 in Kentucky, and they looked terrible. By the way, I mean they didn't look like they ever came to play. Brutal.
Wow.
35 years, you're telling me, since they lost a game at Kentucky.
No, at Kentucky.
Listen, they lost. I didn't watch a single down of that, but
Kentucky.
I hope that the Kentuckians pulled the goalpost down.
Oh, dude, they were having a field. I mean, they were into it. Congratulations to them because they absolutely enjoyed it. I guess maybe, I was on a rant a couple weeks ago about Florida, not moving up in the polls like they should have.
Well, I mean, here's the thing is they had Alabama on the ropes a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
And then they lose to Kentucky, who is now undefeated in the SEC.
Put some respect on that name when you say Kentucky.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. All right. So back over to the Bucs game. So Tommy will likely break the NFL passing record mark today. He needs just 67 yards. I'm hoping he gets that on his first pass to Mike Evans.
Oh, yeah. Hey, do you think Drew Brees is going to be there?
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. First play from scrimmage.
I like it, man.
67 yards. No, I caught it. I just 67. Okay, I like it. Man. So, Chief, you just brought up Drew Brees.
Yeah, I was wondering, you think Drew Brees is going to be there to congratulate him?
Yeah, so Drew Brees, if you don't know, is the current holder of the most yards thrown in a career. He is working for NBC tonight. I don't know if he's going to be in the NBC studio, wherever that, I don't know if that's New York, LA, wherever they do it. Dan Patrick and Tony Dungy. Sorry.
Tony Dungy and them.
Yeah, I forgot his name for a second. Anyway, so I don't know if he's going to be in studio with them or on site in Foxborough. I think it'd be kind of cool if he was. He could kind of, cheer Tom on. But I
thought last night, I think he was at he was calling the Penn State game. So I mean, Penn State not that far from Foxborough as the PJ flies.
Yeah, and he's got till 8 something tonight, so there's plenty of time.
You're saying Drew Brees doesn't fly commercial?
No, he's not flying commercial. Are you kidding me? That guy, he might if he's going to Europe, he might get on a commercial flight for that. But I think NBC or any of these guys, they're flying him around anyway, on their own plane. So they can't afford to have him be late.
This is a big deal, though. It's taken 21, 22 years to set this record for Tom. And there's nobody even close that's active. I mean, I think Aaron Rodgers and Roethlisberger are probably the next two closest active players, and they're not close.
They're not going to do it. No way.
No.
So we will probably never see this record broken in our lifetime. Even though the NFL.
Oh, I don't know. It's been broken 10 times.
But it's taken 20 years. I'm saying, someone's got to start today and go 20 years. I don't see a quarterback. No way. Patrick Mahomes, he runs too much, and he's Patrick Mahomes will not do it. He will not be in the NFL for another 10 years, and he's done.
Well, just going off memory. Dan Marino set this record back in 98 or 99. He broke, I think it was Y.A. Tittle's record at the time. No, it was Fran Tarkenton's record at the time. So those are the last holders: Tarkenton, Marino, Manning, Brees, and Brady. And that is rare air, right? Notice I didn't say Montana, Young, Moon, Bradshaw. I mean,
Testaverde.
He's a candidate. I mean,
Testaverde played a long time.
That's what I'm saying. He
played a long time.
I bet he's like top 5 or top 10. Listen, I think this we need to put some research into this, and next Sunday after Thomas broke the record, we have some conversation about who do we think is next.
Yeah,
it's probably some little leaguer we never heard of before right now. But yeah, we can come up with something.
There's got to be active players who could possibly break this record.
So I guarantee you, Mac Jones is not going to add many yards to his attempt. If he's going to be the future record breaker, today's not going to help him.
Agreed. No, so Chief, you're predicting a dominant performance by the defense.
Oh, I think that our defense is built to break, not just stop, but to break the Patriots. So, we've actually had a little bit of a problem with the quarterbacks that scramble. He is not a scrambling quarterback. He's got his feet, stuck in concrete back there. I watched him play last week. He was okay. His decision-making took a little too long, and put that with what Bruce Arians called the pass rush out right after the game last week, and he's been on him all week. I mean, we haven't even said Shaquille Barrett's name, at all. No one's mentioned his name.
I don't know. Did he even play last week?
Yeah, he was on the field, just wasn't getting anywhere. We haven't called Ndamukong Suh for anything other than being double teamed, which I'm okay with that. If he's taking on the double team, that means somebody else is open. Vita Vea, we have mentioned his name because Vita Vea put a bull rush on a couple of of centers out there. So, Vita Vea stepping up, doing his part. Don't forget, though, this week we had a pretty big signing. You're welcome from the main event to all the Buccaneer fans out there who put into Bruce Arians' ear.
I find it interesting. Richard Sherman, you're talking about Richard Sherman. He's actually going to be active for today.
Yeah.
He knows how to cover.
Does the guy get on the field?
Oh, absolutely. He's definitely going to play.
I don't see why he wouldn't. I mean, if he's in football shape and they've got enough confidence to make him active, then the schemes, you're going to be running 101. You don't need to know schemes from Todd Bowles in order to cover. So
you just think they throw him out there to play man coverage?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. He may not understand the zones yet, but he absolutely understands how to play man.
Well, here's the thing. He's going to learn the Patriots receivers' names tonight, just like we will, because I don't know who these guys are.
That's right.
Can you name one? I can't.
No.
There you go.
I know we're not really AFC football fans, so we probably don't see these guys, all that much. But from what I saw the past couple of weeks, I don't remember anybody standing out. Fantasy football, I don't remember anybody being drafted from the Patriots except Mac Jones, and that was really, really late. So
Belichick's never been a huge run the ball guy. Of course, when you have Tom Brady, you don't have to be. And this year, so far, they're still not running the football very successfully. We are absolutely built to stop the run. So they're going to have to pass. I think we are ready for that. We're going to come into this is a good practice series for us because we got a couple teams coming up that I think we're going to tee off on here.
So, Chief, I'm going to back you up for a minute. What I'm hearing you say is that you're expecting a dominant defensive performance from a team who hasn't showed a dominant defensive performance since the Super Bowl.
So we're going to get some help from Mac Jones today because Mac Jones so Dak Prescott was releasing the ball right at 2 seconds. We saw last week we got lit up by Matthew Stafford, who's also releasing the ball very, very quick. Mac Jones does not have that type of experience. He's not able to read the defenses that fast. He's a rookie quarterback. He's going to look like a rookie quarterback today.
Okay. So
I know what you're going to say next. So we make rookie quarterbacks look amazing sometimes.
There's a long list of rookie quarterbacks who have gotten contract extensions from playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, our defensive line is going to make our secondary look like champions today.
Chief, I agree with what you're saying with one caveat, and that's the Bill Belichick difference.
Okay.
So Bill Belichick does put people, regardless of skill or ability, in positions to succeed based on his play calling. So I agree with you 100% as far as I think this is going to be a dominant defensive game for the Buccaneers. Kind of a coming out a rejuvenation based on what we've seen the previous 3 weeks, which was not great. But I do believe Belichick could throw a few wrinkles in there that are going to make Todd Bowles scratch his head and figure out what am I doing wrong here. So that's the only brake pumping I would do on that portion of what you just said.
Yeah.
So we're going to be heavy on the blitz, guaranteed. heavy on the blitz. I'm predicting at least 5 sacks today.
Okay.
And by the way, the opposite side of the coin on that is that if our defense is performing amazing, that means our offense is going to get the ball a lot. Tom Brady's not just going to break this record today; he's going to crush it. He may get 400 yards.
Listen, I was going to say, and Pooh Bear, I'm going to turn this over to you here in a second, but I think offensively we could put 50. We could hang 50 on the Patriots.
Yeah. Once again, give me the name of a Patriots defensive player. Yeah. Okay.
Teddy.
So,
no, that was 10 years
Teddy
ago.
Bruschi still.
That was 10 years ago.
Teddy Bruschi and the Boofy. He's doing commentary work. Yeah. So I fully expect Tom Brady to wake up this morning giddy as all get out. I don't know if he still got a home there, if he was able to sleep in his own his own bed.
I'm sure COVID protocols required him to be at the team hotel.
More than likely, but it's probably feeling a little more comfortable than anybody else. He can't wait to get to the field. He's going to be able to see what the visitors' locker room looks like. That's going to be exciting for him.
Yeah. Hey, Tom Brady has home field advantage today.
Yes.
I mean, no one has played quarterback in that stadium more than Tom Brady.
The weather's going to be nice.
Don't think for a minute that there's not going to be Patriots fans there rooting for Tom on every series.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think you're going to get I think a lot of people have said this, so I'm just parroting what I feel or what I've heard as well. But I think you're going to get an initial boo of we're mad you left us, but then you can't change your stripes that fast. It's only been 18, 20 months, right? Since he actually officially left New England. There's people.
Well, listen, we hated the guy for nearly 20 years. I've only liked him since March.
It's a little different. It's a little different. You can switch that off, but when you have that deep love and then all of a sudden it's gone, that's a little different. Right? And you don't have a valid replacement. You've got Mac Jones. So I mean, what do you fell in love with Mac Jones in 6 months? Probably not.
Well, they didn't fall in love with Cam Newton. That's
nope.
for sure.
No. Hi, Cam. Hey, Cam, what are you doing this afternoon? You want to come over and hang out?
Cam's still unemployed. Listen, I think to me, we're 4 weeks into the season. That guy's still unemployed.
It speaks volumes.
That's it. You hate to see a guy like that, though. I mean, wasn't he a league MVP one year?
Yeah.
Yeah, for him to go out being cut, like he didn't get to go out on his own terms.
Yeah, Heisman Trophy winner, league MVP, Super Bowl, participant.
He lost in the Super Bowl. Yeah,
participant. He owns lots of Carolina records. He deserves some sort of attention. Now, maybe he's not getting the attention he wants. Maybe he wants a starting job, and there isn't anybody available.
Materialized. Yeah.
I think Miami Tua is going to be out for a little while. That might be an option for him, but.
Look, he didn't go on his own because of him. I mean, his spiral downward was out of control, man. Correct. I mean, it was crazy, the stuff that was going on. I mean, it was cray, man. That was nuts. So when
he still has all the physical tools and ability. It's about his mental.
It's him. Yeah, absolutely.
You're dressing in dresses and wearing these funny hats like that. That seemed to be more important to him than his actual play on the field. Which hat am I going to wear tonight to make a fashion statement? If that's more important to you, then bye. You're going to get yourself hurt or somebody else hurt on the football field. Have a nice day.
Yeah. I don't know. So, Pooh Bear, you mentioned Tommy being pretty excited to walk into Gillette Stadium today. What do we know about the breakup between Tom Brady and the Patriots?
Not a whole lot. I mean, Tom has been very professional about it. Hey, I enjoyed my time there. Then he throws in those little jabs. Well, I've enjoyed my time here too. I enjoyed my time at Michigan. I enjoyed my time in my high school in Northern California. So it's like, okay, well, that's pretty specific. Why don't you just say leave it at the Patriots?
Yeah.
But he's been very political about it and not really say anything controversial, which is what the press is waiting for. Somebody's got a microphone in his face waiting for him to say something crazy. But on the flip side, in New England, Belichick, who is famous for not saying anything, just kind of grumbling his way through interviews, he's done something similar, but there's been a few more clues. There's been some leaks coming out from Brady's confidant and trainer and partner with TB12. Can't remember that guy's name, but he said some things about, it was not a mutual breakup. Essentially, it was, very one-sided. The Patriots did not want Tom there. Tom would have loved to stay, that kind of stuff.
I don't know if you look back, I feel like I remember that his last season in New England, that most people knew it was going to be his last season. Like going into everybody knew, obviously we knew he was going to be a free agent, but there was already talk about going into the season that it was likely going to be his last there. So somewhere there was a riff, and yes, what we know is rumors because nobody's really talking about it. It's amazing to me, though, this week how every network can have so much coverage on this return of Tom to New England, and nobody really knows like the truth of what happened, right? But it sounds like, that they just kind of grew apart. Like Tom was growing as a quarterback and as a leader, and the organization maybe wasn't necessarily growing at the same pace. But, we've heard things like, Belichick, wouldn't allow him to call his own plays, or some stuff like that, which a guy who's got as many Super Bowl rings as he does should have some allowances. I think we saw even in the first game this season against Dallas, we're trying to make that game-winning drive. Brady is straight up yelling at Byron Leftwich, "We are not running that play."
Right. I don't think that would have happened in Boston.
And that wouldn't have happened in New England, no.
Well, and we've heard too, and again, the three of us have not followed New England, sports that closely, especially when it comes to things like Tom Brady. I didn't really know Tom as outside of football, like his entertainment type life, right? So it was very sterile apparently, and not all the appearances, they were very Belichick-esque. You said nothing. Tiger Woods comes to mind also as having that kind of lifestyle. You say very little. You're very seldom seen in public. And the change that people claim has happened since he's come to Tampa, just Tampa Tom is a different guy. He's more, he's fun. His Twitter game, I don't know if he's running his Twitter or if it's somebody else doing it, but it is phenomenal. Instagram, Twitter, whoever that person is just hilarious.
Chief, I think Pooh Bear has more time on his hands than you and I do.
What? You guys don't. This is major. I'm talking about major news tweets.
Is this, what you do on like the toilet or something? I mean,
well, yes, but yeah.
I tried to tweet Mike Pierre. He didn't respond to me last week about that.
That's because situation. The only time you ever tweet is specifically to that guy.
I know.
And he's now blocked you. You're blocked. Like it never gets to him because you've never said anything nice.
Follow Chief for all the best Mike Pierre tweets.
You're never nice to the guy. I just asked him to explain it. I said, help me understand this. I don't understand it, and nothing. I feel like he doesn't want to talk bad about the NFL, but they made a mistake. And we don't want to get into that.
All right. So, Chief, you got a little bit of a taste this week of what it feels like to come down to the wire in Survivor football.
Oh my gosh. Who are you gonna play let's play the bumper, man. I like the bumper.
You're a wizard, Harry.
I love that.
You're a wizard.
Yeah, so I figured this week is a can of corn. It's pretty much a cakewalk. The Cincinnati Bengals 2-1 going against the winless and terrible looking Jacksonville Jaguars. The Bengals were playing at home. I said, okay, not really a Bengals fan, but this now is the time to pull the trigger and use the Bengals. So I do. Thursday night at halftime, I am as unhappy as I can possibly be. I mean, look, I hate Urban Meyer. I just don't like him. He left Florida in under bag what's the word I'm looking for? What is it called? Unclear circumstances. Okay.
Yes, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah.
We'll leave it there. So anyway, Urban Meyer, is coaching at Jacksonville, and then just not being a Bengals fan. I'm like, okay, I finally put my trust in you guys, and you guys are going to blow it down to the wire, man. I tell you, last week, B-Love, it was way more fun watching you squirm, you know, in overtime. I was like, oh my gosh, this is what it feels like, man. It is not.
Yeah,
fun.
At least mine was an overtime game. Okay, it could have gone either way.
So is that your strategy? Is just to pick against the Jaguars for survival football?
No, not. But I mean, this was I really felt like my strategy
would be a solid strategy. By
it is a good. I think it's a good strategy. But my strategy is to pick the game that I am most confident that's going to win for the week, and I felt really good about the Bengals coming here and just unloading on the Jaguars. And
wow, listen, I mean, I'm out, so there's not much I can say. But it's just looking at the Bengals. They did have the number 1 overall draft pick and the worst record in the league a year and a half ago.
Yeah, well. They were 2-1, you know. Burrows, but last year Burrows didn't even play. He was out on like game 1, you know, and
he played.
He had been doing a lot better.
So
anyway, I'm still alive.
Still going.
So I picked. Obviously we'll know at the time this airs how I did, but I picked the Saints over the Giants. Now I reckon you guys are all like, "What you did? What?" Like I realized. I think today, regardless of which Jameis shows up, this is still a W for the Saints.
Oof, okay. I like your confidence.
Dude, because listen, at some point you've got to use, if you're going to win Survivor, at some point you will have had to use the Saints, right? As your W. And I'm just saying this is a good week to pull it out.
Like Dan Patrick says, he likes Jameis Winston because he keeps both teams in it.
Yeah, well, today Jameis has a career day.
Okay.
He's going to have the kind of day where when he was here, we were like, this guy could be a league MVP.
I'm marking this the 26-minute mark, so we need to make sure at 7:26 we tune in to hear you say that after the Saints.
No doubter. It's a no doubter, he says.
So they could be.
Dude, Jameis doesn't know what today's gonna be like. Jameis, I'm telling you, Tom Brady knows what he's gonna step up. He's like, I know I'm gonna throw to Mike Evans here. I'm gonna throw to him there. I'm not gonna throw to him there. Jameis Winston has no idea what's gonna happen, you know. Right. And it can go great, it can go bad. But last time I checked, the Giants have a pretty good running back, and we're gonna see how that plays into it. So
I think he might be out today, actually.
Oh, well, never mind. Then now B-Love's looking, smarter and smarter.
Well, he's on my fantasy team, and I think I benched him due to questionable status.
Oh, they put him questionable. He'll be in. He'll play. Okay. If you're questionable, you're in.
All right. So keeping along the fantasy, or not the fantasy football line, but the picks. So we're going to go ahead and make our picks for next week, even though we don't know the results of any of the games that are this week yet. And we also don't know yet that I'm probably going to run the table this week, that I'm going to catch up.
Once James, okay.
I'm going to come from the cellar in our picks. But our first one is the Broncos versus the Steelers. Pooh Bear, what do you got?
I'm going to go with the Broncos. I believe they're undefeated, right? They're 3-0. And the Steelers, man, Ben Roethlisberger looks so bad right now. I mean, I feel bad for him. Like watching him, knowing how great he has been. And it's like, you're just watching somebody hang on too long. You're watching Grandpa drive the car past his age. It's just, this is not good.
All right.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go Broncos.
Chief, I feel you disagree. What you got?
So I'm gonna go Steelers on this one, only because there is some sort of magic when the Steelers play at home, Heinz Field, even back in what was Three River Stadium. So the Steelers just don't lose at home. I'm going Pittsburgh.
Okay. I'm taking the Broncos. We don't know where TSG's picks are at, but we'll get them from him.
He's gonna pick the Jaguars. he picks the Jags.
And Chief, are you writing these down? Because I'm not in my normal spot to have the write down. Okay. All right. Next game up. Niners and Cardinals. Man, this game is
Jimmy Garoppolo's.
What's his name-o?
What's your name-o? All right, Chief, what you got?
So I know that the Cardinals are undefeated going into today's game. They're going to play the Rams. I don't think they're going to beat the Rams, and I think they're going to show the Rams are going to show the 49ers how to beat them. So I'm going to go 49ers, even though they are playing, in the Cardinals' home.
Wow. Okay. I'm going Cardinals Pooh Bear, what do you got?
Well, it's just tough because I think I have the 49ers going today in the pick 'em because I was predicting Trey Lance to have some more activity.
Yes, I remember you saying that.
But that's really going to be predicated on how that happens. So it's tough. I'll go. I'm going to go with the Cardinals too. I think they're just a really good team. I like what they're doing.
All right, he has gone Cardinals. So far, I'm lone wolfing it on both of these.
Well, we don't know what TSG is going to pick yet.
Yeah, he went Jacksonville. He picked Jacksonville again. You're not here. That's what you get, man. I got him down. TSG picks Jacks, all three.
Oh, my goodness. All right, so then we have the Vikings versus the Lions.
Vikes versus the Lions. Man,
I mean, these are two pretty bad teams.
So far. He picked the Reapus Bowl here.
Yeah, well, he picks that game every week.
Yeah, you got to have the bad of the bads, you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's in Minnesota. I'll go with the home team. I'll go with the Vikings. And for my neighbor, Tim. There you go, Tim. If you're watching,
Timmy.
I'm cheering for the Vikings.
Chief?
So when I was in infantry school, the guy locker next to me was named Zelensky. He was a Vikings fan, and we were in the old NFC Central or whatever that division was. We played the Vikings. NFC North, thank you. Yes. So, and all the Vikings so good, blah, 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 blah. And they did beat us, So anyway, I never liked that guy.
Repeatedly.
I never liked that guy. I don't like the Vikings specifically because of him. I'm going Lions.
Wow.
I hope Zelensky sees this.
Zelensky, if you're watching.
I don't remember his first name anymore. It's been a minute.
The Chief has lost that love and feeling, my friend. Man.
All right. Well, I'm also going to take the Vikings versus the Lions, and TSG apparently has the Jaguars.
Maybe the Lions. I don't know.
So I'm going to tell you something. The gap is definitely changing after next week because I am alone on all three of my picks. And so.
All right. So, gentlemen, any other NFL news you guys want to chat about before we head into the next segment?
No, that's it. We've had some pretty good games.
Jared McCoy's still out, by the way.
Wow.
And not getting paid.
Is JPP still out for today?
JPP is out today. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
well,
is that a hand injury? I'm not sure.
Yeah. Oh boy.
All right. So
we'll never get him on the show now.
We're gonna get into some of the Major League Baseball playoffs. But before we do that, I figured let's cover some You Can't Fix Stupid.
Oh.
So if you're watching and you want to hear about the Major League Baseball playoffs, that is coming up next. But first, You Can't Fix Stupid.
You know, it's interesting you said that the Major League playoffs is coming up next, but actually it involves our very first You Can't Fix Stupid story. So
what do you got, Pooh Bear?
When the Milwaukee Brewers found out they were going to be headed to the playoffs and they were actually going to be Central Division champs, relief pitcher Devin Williams decided to celebrate by punching a wall with his pitching hand, and he broke it.
Gosh.
Are you kidding me?
Is this guy is he relevant though? Like, or is he just some?
He's played a role in their bullpen, which is one of the best. I mean, as good as the Rays bullpen is in the AL, the Brewers bullpen is probably equally as good or better in the NL. Josh Hader's their anchor. He's their closer. He's arguably the best closer in all of baseball right now. He is electric. He is very difficult to hit. Mark my words right now. This is not a team I want my Rays seeing in the playoffs in the World Series, basically.
I mean, we're gonna have to beat all of them to win the World Series.
Correct. Way far ahead. But just looking at the way they're built, this is a very good team. Do not underestimate the Brewers.
Listen, not for nothing, but the main event has established a little bit of a tradition in regards to the World Series when it involves.
I could not agree more, and I think we need to maintain that.
So he's out. He was super excited about making it into the playoffs, and now he's not going to play at all.
He will not be a roster player.
Dude, so I want to know I want to know how that happens. Like that, you're either crazy amped up, or you drank too much of the celebratory champagne.
I'm guessing it was the amped up portion because I don't think you're. I don't know. I don't know the guy personally. Maybe he's a hand thrower by nature. He's constantly. Maybe it was
he likes to fight guy.
A Frank the Tank chug. Maybe it was one of those. I don't know. I don't think
I've been pretty amped, I've been pretty amped in the past, and I've never desired to punch a wall. Just to let it loose. No, that's not. I don't. Seems like a bad way to celebrate.
Yes.
So let me ask you this: do you guys remember? It's been a long time, and I don't remember who that was, but there was a player in Major League Baseball who tore their ACL celebrating a home run or something like that. Do you remember this? It was a walk-off home run. Yes. And the guy jumped at the plate or whatever and missed the entire playoffs because of that.
Playoff. Yes, I do remember this happening.
Well, we had a kicker who bled his knee out over a field goal.
That was one of the Grammaticas.
It was the Grammatica brother. It wasn't Martin. It was what was the other one's name? Agnostio or something.
Mr. Grammatica.
He
played for the Cardinals, I believe.
Mr. Grammatica of Grammatica Insurance.
Yes, exactly.
And that's no joke. The Grammaticas are in the insurance business right now.
Yeah. They also have a kicking. They also have a kicking school.
Yeah, I think it's down at IMG, which we've talked about. And you can't fix stupid previously.
You can't fix it before. Yeah, I gotta say that's one of the ones that you walk away from going, dang, that was stupid. He's calling himself stupid.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah. And you can't live this down. You can't go if he goes to another team next year or even comes back to the Brewers. If the Brewers lose, oh my gosh, then it's really
how about if they win and you're not a part of it?
Oh, yeah, and that's the only time you ever make it to the playoffs.
But everywhere he goes now, let's say he's a free agent and he's traded, he goes to the Reds. The Reds are gonna be like, "Hey, you're the guy that punched the wall, right? Hey, can we get some padding on the walls in here, everybody?" I mean that you're never gonna live that down.
Wow, crazy. All right, Chief, you got a you can't fix stupid for us too.
I do. So okay, so this one hits a little closer to home, but it's actually from Missouri, not our home, but I'll get to that in a minute. But so this guy is selling a catalytic converter online. He throws it up online, takes a picture of it, and then the sheriff checks it out. And the catalytic converter, okay, so that's fine to sell, but it's the bag of meth that's in the picture behind him that you can't. And it's not just a bag of meth. I mean, they got syringes, they got the whole, shebang. Everything's there that you need, for your drug deal. And it's not a little bag of meth. It was a lot of meth too. So
do you think do you think that was a subtle way of hey, I'm going to post this catalytic converter, but what I really want is people to come buy meth from me?
Ooh.
So is that the new word for meth? Catalytic converter? That's where you go to.
I don't know. It's I don't know about these things. We talked last week about the dark web. How do you even get on the dark web? Maybe there is a thing for selling meth.
Wow.
That I don't know.
Kind of like the kids being sold on overstock.com.
Yes. Yeah. So
interesting.
I do know for a fact that these things happen. Okay, so I'll tell you guys a quick story. I had a friend of mine goes to a work event, and he has too much to drink. But he knew he was going to drink a lot, so he got a hotel. He got a room at the hotel where they were having this event at. And one of the secretaries also had too much to drink, but she wanted to drive her car home. So she goes to the valet. The valet's like, "I'm sorry, ma'am, I cannot give you your car." And she says, "Well, if I'm going to get a room, I'm going to need my purse. It's in the car." So they bring the car around for her just to get her purse out. She looks around. She's like, "Suckers!" Jumps in the car and leaves. So now they're afraid. The valets are afraid they're going to be liable for this. So they call the cops. They say, "We don't know who she is, but we know that she was at this event with the guy staying up in 502." So the cops go and knock on the guy's door in 502, who's trying to do it right. He's trying to do everything right. So he opens the door. The cops come in. They just want to talk to him and find out who she is and stuff like that. Well, he forgets that he's got lines of Coke on the table.
Oh, my God.
So, I mean, he's trying to do it right, And and gets arrested, and of course loses his job. It just goes really bad for him.
So why wouldn't you put out an APB on the car though? You're the valet. You know what kind of car she had. Hey guys, we're looking for a green Mazda Miata.
Yeah, I don't really know how that works. They called 911 just to let them know what was happening. And
listen, and the reason that he answered the door with lines in his room was because he already did too many lines.
Yeah, he already had a couple going probably.
Well, that's what I was going to say. As far as my experience in this life,
wait a minute, you have experience in this life?
A lot of it, 40 something years, 42 years, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, I thought you had experience with lines.
No. In my life, in my existence, people that consume drugs don't make the best decisions. That's kind of what I've learned.
No.
That's what I've learned.
You think? You think? Yeah.
Golly.
Crazy. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. All right. So we came into this show last week saying that by this time we would have a clear picture of the Major League Baseball playoff. What do you call it?
Are you inferring that we don't?
We do not.
Oh my gosh.
We do not. We do not. So, by the way, congratulations to your Tampa Bay Rays.
0
for putting a century mark up for the first time in history. It's crazy to me that these guys do it with these guys.
Yeah.
Right? They won 100 games in the American League East.
And it wasn't because the Reds, just because the Orioles and the rest of the league
in the American League East, the Red Sox, the Yankees, and Toronto Blue Jays are all still in it.
All those teams, right now, 90 games wins or more. 90 wins or more.
And we put up 100 wins in the AL East with 3 other teams who possibly could possibly make the playoffs.
And for the most part, going off of memory, I think the only team the Rays have even really struggled playing or having a winning record against would be the Blue Jays. I think they've handily beaten the.
I do not want to play the Blue Jays in the playoffs.
I don't want to see the Blue Jays or the Mariners.
How about if you're the Blue Jays today? You're sitting at 90 and 71, and you may not make the playoffs. You're on the outside looking in.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I believe they have the easy. Well,
they have the Seattle Mariners today.
No, they're playing the Angels.
The Blue Jays are playing the Orioles.
Orioles, excuse me. The Mariners are playing the Angels. So the Red Sox are playing. I was looking to see who their pitching matchup. They were throwing Sale.
I thought the Red Sox were playing Toronto. One of these games.
Right. Let's get this right. We don't want to be stupid here.
Yeah, we don't want to be the you can't fix stupid. Hey, while you're looking that up, I'm going to continue to dote on the Rays here. Dude, Lau goes ding dong 3 times yesterday. 2 of them 3-run shots. At what point do you quit pitching to that guy?
I mean,
you're the Yankees, you don't.
Yeah, well, his batting average is like 240. I mean, it's not an amazing batting average. He does have power, though, but he was locked in. I say after the second one, you probably don't.
If he hits one today, he hits 40 this year,
which is
that's remarkable.
So he truly is, home run or bust. That's essentially what he is.
Well, I mean, so is Zunino.
Well,
he's a catcher. Yeah,
there aren't too many players in the league right now that aren't. I mean, that is the model. As much as the NFL has gone to a passing league with no running, the Major League Baseball has gone to a home run scoring machine or no average. Wander Franco is a refreshing average. That sounds bad, average hitter, but a batter who hits for average.
Yeah.
Just to follow up, the Red Sox are playing the Nationals, and they're pitching Sale. So Chris Sale's going for them. I believe the Yankees are going to throw Garrett Cole today to try to beat the Rays. And then
so they're going to throw Cole, who's their ace, to just make the playoffs.
Correct.
Which makes him unavailable for the 2 wild. Like if in the event of a tiebreaker, you don't have him, and you wouldn't have him,
and the Red Sox don't have Sale because you're playing tomorrow. And then the Mariners are playing the Angels, so that leaves the Toronto Blue Jays to play the Orioles. And they're throwing Ryu. They're throwing their best pitcher. So all games at 3:30 today. It is going to be fantastic, and we're not going to see any of it.
So what happens if say the Yankees lose, the Red Sox lose, the Blue Jays win? Everybody's at 91 and 71.
Yeah, they have a four-way tie. B-Love, do you have the breakdown of the four-way tie? How it plays out?
Yeah, so I'm going to apologize because this is crazy. So I'm going to actually read this so that everybody can understand. So
I'm taking notes.
Yeah, you're going to need to. So if it ends in a four-way tie, as Chief, as you said, the Yankees and the Red Sox lose and the Mariners and the Blue Jays win. They all four have the same record for the American League wild card. If there's a four-way tie and all teams have 91 wins, each team would choose to receive an A, B, C, or D designation. The club with the highest winning percentage in games among the tied clubs chooses first. The second highest chooses second, etc. So in this scenario, the Red Sox actually get the first choice, the Blue Jays second, the Yankees third, and the Mariners get the leftover spot. So on Monday, likely the Red Sox would host Club B, and Club C, likely the Blue Jays would host Club D. So for the Yankees, it comes down to a choice of whether they'd like to travel to Boston or Toronto for that game. And then the winner of those two games on Monday would face each other on Tuesday in the American League wild card game.
God, this is insane. And I'm assuming something similar. Well, no, what would you do for a three-way?
For a three-way tie?
They just go to runs.
So in this example, the Yankees, Red Sox, and Mariners, let's say they all finish with 91 wins. For the three tied clubs, you go with the same designation system. A, B, and C would be assigned based on head-to-head records. Again, the Red Sox have the season edge on both the Yankees and Mariners, so they would choose A, B, or C first. The Yankees won the series over Seattle, so they would choose second, and the Mariners get the leftover spot. So Club A would host Club B on Monday. The winner of that game would be declared one AL wildcard team.
Okay.
Club C would then host the loser of that game on Tuesday to determine the second wildcard team.
That is exciting.
And then the actual American League wildcard game would be pushed back.
I'm rooting for that scenario because that sounds the most exciting.
Yes. So so the loser, even if you lost, you get another chance.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. It's a double elimination essentially for the B team in that scenario.
For the B team, yeah.
So and I think you're about to correct me, Level. Italian is actually pitching for the Yankees there. Or at least he's slated.
Correct, yes.
The Yes Network predicted Cole would throw based on urgency. Like they need to get in. So
I mean here's the interesting thing. Let me ask you guys this. I just thought about this. So the Rays, their playoff picture is clear. They just don't know who they're going to play yet, right?
Correct.
They just don't know who they're going to play off yet. So do you rest any guys or do you go out there to put an L on the Yankees?
They are completely in control of whether or not the Yankees get in or not. Really. So if
completely in control, but they have a larger say in it. Yeah.
Yes.
So here's the thing. We also, our pitching rotation for the playoffs is already set. We're rolling Waka out today.
The Rays don't play till at least Thursday, depending on this crazy scenario. So Thursday is the first game.
If you sat some guys today, they would get Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and they would get a 4-day rest before Thursday. Or do you go out there to win every single game?
That's the argument, right? So the athlete mentality is to win regardless of outcome, or regardless of scenario. So it's going to be tough to see. But if the Rays feel like they can beat the Yankees and they want the Yankees to participate in the wild card game, they could lay a goose egg today and kind of let that happen. But it's very hard to get players to buy into that mentality when you've been bred on win at all costs.
Yeah.
Kind of
well, I'm just looking at guys okay, I'm just going to roll through some thoughts in my head. So Wander Franco, we know, spent some time on the injured reserve list with that hamstring. Do you go ahead and give him today off, let him rest that hamstring for 4 days? Or do you want him to still get at bats, right? The other one is Nelson Cruz. He's like 80. So do you give him, 4 days rest because he's old?
So like I think the answer lies in the individual. So I think Wander Franco, and this team is a young team. These guys want to play. It is contagious. It's exciting that you can't hold them back. So I think Wander Franco, as long as his hamstring is good, you play him. Nelson Cruz, hey, now that could be a different story. Nelson could say, hey, although his bat has come alive in the last couple of days.
Yeah, it was cold coming into this week.
It was cold, yeah. So, I think you let him decide, do you want to bat or do you not want to bat? And if he says, no, I think I'm good, I'm going to let somebody else get some at bats. Okay, fine. Then we let somebody else do it. But the other guys, you can't hold these guys back. They're going to want to be in there.
Okay.
And they're going to want to win, by the way.
So Lau, he needs 1 home run to hit 40.
And that leads into what I was going to say is about, there may be some incentives, hidden incentive.
I was thinking the same thing.
That may play into this, number of innings pitched, number of strikeouts, number of at-bats, number of hits. Some of these guys may have those on the fringe and they're trying to do it, or potentially heading to arbitration. So if you're going to arbitration, your numbers matter. So if you can hit certain thresholds, specifically with Lau, if he can get to that 40 home run threshold, that might be a huge money rainmaker for him. We don't know. Yeah. So those are all things to consider too.
Listen, if he's in the lineup today,
he's
swinging for the fences on every pitch. This guy's going to come out of his shoes, right? So here's the other advantage, I think. Here's the other thing I think that it doesn't bode well for the Yankees today is that we don't care who we throw today.
No, that's why Walker's out there.
They're all about to get at least 3 days rest, right? Yep. So you can throw anybody in the bullpen today.
Yeah, and and there's methodology to getting pitchers work. It's very difficult to simulate games for especially bullpen pitchers. So if you've got a guy that didn't pitch yesterday or even Friday, now they're almost going on a full week of no live pitching. That can be a problem for a reliever. They need that frequent work. Their bodies are used to getting up every couple of nights and going to work. So that having that much rest may be a detriment coming into the series. Mm-hmm. So, this is why Cash and the rest of that team are so important because they know this team, the tendencies, the needs in and out better than anybody in the world. So they're going to do what is best for the team today. I promise you. It's already been done at 3:30. This started. So.
Yeah, we're talking about things that
have already happened.
When you see the show, it's already happened. But
they know the answers to it. So
yep.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, so when I go by nails, I go to Lowe's.
Okay.
And it's Brandon Lau? You're sure about that? Not Brandon Lowe?
I'm 100% that Mr. Lau and his wife Madison pronounce it Lau.
Because the E on the end is supposed to make the O a long vowel. Going back to my 5th grade English.
Oh my gosh.
So that is how, seriously, it's supposed to be Lowe's. Are we sure it's not Lowe's?
Well, it's Lowe's because Mr. and Mrs. Lowe pronounced their name Lowe.
We have a language for a reason. There are rules to the language.
Lau. Really? Well, tell me how to pronounce Kiermaier or maybe Roethlisberger.
Those are foreign words. Those are foreign words brought into the English language.
Foreign words.
So is it Bassett or Bassett?
Ooh.
It depends. Because if she's really hot, it could be Bassett. Whatever she wants to say, if I'm for a job interview and they want to say Bassett, okay, fine. I'm not going to correct you.
So this is a true story. We're in Las Vegas back in June, and we book a reservation. Chief, I don't remember the name of this place.
I'm not sure where the story's going. I'm a little worried.
But it is it's 5-star dining. We're going to a steakhouse. Before we go to the magic show. Ditch the kids. It's just the 4 of us. And we're standing there waiting to check in. And Chief goes, I believe today we're the Bissettes and the Lavells. So, anyways, I think that's all we got.
That's all we got for right now, but we got a lot going on today.
We could use the extra 5 minutes today.
I'm telling you, so for our day, Chief put out a military precision guide to what we're doing hour by hour, and it is tight, ladies and gentlemen. Matter of fact, my first response was, I didn't see any time in there to eat, and that's important to me.
That's legit, dude. Hey, if we don't stick to that, we're gonna miss kickoff.
I mean, yeah, we're already gonna miss every other game, every baseball game, every other football game. The only game we're gonna have a likelihood of catching is the 8:30 or 8:25 Buccaneer game. So that's all we got, ladies and gentlemen. If you're sitting here watching this still, you are a real one. We appreciate you. You are the best kind of fan. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel so you get all of our content, especially what we're working on today, because you are not going to want to miss that. Like this video if you're so inclined. If you didn't like it, hit the dislike button, but hit it twice so we really know how angry you are. And with all that, we will be back next week. What time are we doing the show? Is this a 7?
I think it's 7 next week.
7 next week.
Are we going to be live?
We'll be live.
We'll actually be live.
Back live next Sunday, 7 p.m. Ready to engage with you. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Say goodnight, Chief.
Good night.